For the Pledge of Allegiance, the moment of silent reflection. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Lobazinski. Extended.
Mr. Allier.
Present.
Mr. Garcia.
Here.
Mrs. Smith-Gomez. Here. Mr. Kuba.
Here.
Mr. Crow.
I'm present. Thank you.
All are present.
Thank you. Anybody register for public participation?
No, there is not, Mr. President.
All right. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba. And who is my secretary? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Go. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Correspondence, Dr. Smith.
Yeah, none at this time, Mr. President.
Okay, do you have a superintendent's report?
I do, and I'll be fairly brief tonight, but I do have a couple of things I want to cover. First of all, big thanks to students, staff, community for getting us off to a great start. We've been in school for almost 4 weeks now, and I feel like it's been a smooth start. Everybody's in their routine and doing well, and our athletic teams are off and running and doing well too, so we're excited. Fine arts, I'll talk about in just a minute as well. I do want to offer my condolence. We lost 2 people that were connected to School Town of Highland this last week. There was a really bad accident on Kennedy and 42nd last week. Unfortunately, one of the people passed away. She was a crossing guard for Merkley. The town had just hired her a few weeks ago, so we had only known her for a short time helping us out. And they do work, our crossing guards work for the town, but they do help our children. So I think that's extremely important. And her name was Linda Vukovic. And I apologize, I didn't know her really well because she just started working for us. But I can't think of a more helpful, selfless thing to do than be a crossing guard to make sure our kids get to school safe every day. So thoughts and prayers to her family. And then also condolences to Lori Faust. Lori was a 29-year custodian at the high school. She helped us in a number of ways. One of the big things she did our school, or our athletic uniforms. We don't let our football team and our basketball team and the other teams take their uniforms home to wash because you don't know what detergents they're using or bleach and ruining our uniforms. So she was always the custodian that did the uniforms and made sure that she took care of them. And seems like a little thing, but it's a big thing. And she also helped take care of our buildings for 29 years. She retired a year ago, unfortunately passed away after an admirable fight with cancer. So again, thoughts and prayers to her, and we lost a really good one, and someone who was great for our kids, and it's a sad moment for us. I do want to end on a high note. I did find out, I talked to Mr. Reiser, who's in here. They are doing the play Fools, which is a Neil Simon play. And because there were so many students that tried out, because there was only, and I'm putting words in Mr. Reiser's mouth here, but I'll have him correct me if I'm wrong, there's only a spot for 10 kids. But like 50 kids tried out. So we don't want to turn that many kids away. So Mr. Domasica was doing it, but Mr. Reiser stepped up and said, I'll do an alternate cast as well, so more kids have an opportunity. So we're doing 2 casts, and they're going to try to do them like a Thursday night, a Friday night, and then a Saturday, a Sunday. So they'll both casts will have at least 2 shows, and that doubles the kids. A lot of bigger schools do alternate casts, and that gets more kids involved. So hats off to and kudos to the Fine Arts Department and Mr. Reiser for stepping up and doing that with Mr. Domasica. So we're excited. That'll be the weekend before Thanksgiving. So the 20th, November 20th through the 23rd. More to come on that because we have more meetings ahead of time. So that's all.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Smith. With that, we'll pause this meeting and we will open the public hearing to discuss collective bargaining.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Per the state statute, and I can give you that state statute if need be, but yeah, here we go. Indiana Code 20-29-6-1 requires a public hearing for negotiations to begin our negotiations with the teachers. This requirement was enacted in 2019, and it just gives the public an opportunity to offer comments for or against as we open up bargaining. So I would just ask Mr. President to open up comments to the audience, and it would follow the same 3 minutes and the same rules we have, about what you can and can't talk about.
With that, I open the floor to public comment on collective bargaining. I'll call again. Floor is yours, sir.
Rick Bowman, 9221 Parkway Drive. I have no technical question. I simply make an observation that do we have an awareness, maybe in the materials. I have not read your materials. But what is the prognosis of the money we're going to receive from the state? This is an open question. You don't have to answer the question. I'm just asking the question. Are we receiving kind of a similar amount of money as we got last year? Is this kind of a little bit reduced money, or is it a very greatly reduced amount of money? That's my open question. Do anybody want to answer?
Yeah, I'm happy to tell. So the way the state, this is just pretty vague. It depends on your final student numbers, which will be October 1st, we'll know. We have this year, it's a 2-year budget through the state, about 1.9% new money for this year and about 0.9, a little less than 1% for next year, to negotiate.
And if we were to compare that to last year or the year before, we were receiving more like 4 or 4.5. Am I way off on that estimate?
A little less, probably around closer to 3, but yeah. And the other thing is, the state will smoke and mirrors. They'll tell you that, oh, actually you're getting closer to like 3.5 or 4, but they lumped all the textbook reimbursements in there. And,
your hands are tied.
Yeah, with that has to go to textbook reimbursement.
You approached several representatives, state senators. They expressed interest in trying to help you, but you're not aware of any help that was forthcoming.
Right. So then the only other money you can really bargain with is if you saved money by not replacing teachers or bringing in teachers, that have lesser salary or have more students, or dip into cash balance savings, if you haven't.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other comments? All right, hearing none. Do we close this hearing and then go to the budget?
Yeah, you just closed it.
Okay, we'll close that hearing.
Hey.
Do we open up budget hearing now, or just go right to the budget?
I think you open up, are they doing a hearing, Cindy? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll close the collective bargaining hearing, and we'll open up the, you guys didn't know you were going to do 3 different meetings tonight. So we will open up the hearing for the 2026 annual budget, CPF plan, and bus replacement plan. So that is now open.
Good evening, everybody. A public hearing on the 2026 budget, the 2026 through 28 capital projects plan, and the 2026 through 2030 bus replacement plan were advertised on the DLGF's website called Gateway, and they were also posted on the district's website. A public work session was held on August 26th, at which time the administration presented a review of the proposed budget, the capital projects, and the bus replacement plans. A copy of the advertised budget is available on the front table for anybody who would like a copy. The 2026 budget includes Education Fund, $24,073,816. Operations Fund, $10,590,284. And the Debt Service Fund for $9,998,917. The total budget is advertised at $44,663,017. versus $41,086,163 last year. The budget and the CP plan will be adopted at 6 p.m. on October 21st at our next board meeting. I request that the public hearing, well, we already opened it, and to invite the patrons who wish to address these items to be invited to do so at this time. After such comments are concluded, the hearing can be closed.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. So I now open the floor for any public comment regarding the budget and the budget process. Any comments? Going once? Comments going twice? All right, we'll close public comment. And with that, we'll close the annual budget hearing. Yep. Okay. There we go.
With authority.
Oh, no. All right, in case anybody's sleeping. All right, so we go to the board reports. Mr. Elliott.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Garcia.
I also have nothing to report.
Mr. Gomez.
I have so much room.
Oh, you're sticker down at the quad.
I know, you guys are going to be sick of me by the time it's through. Okay, last week I had a bunch of meetings, and now I'm going to tell you all about them. The first one I went to was the Crossroads Chamber meeting, which we normally don't talk about, but I went on behalf of Mr. Garcia, and Dr. Jenner from the Department of Education was there. Just want to talk to you guys about that briefly. She gave kind of an overview of the new diplomas. So it was a lot of what probably everyone in here is already familiar with. It was mainly for businesses to talk to them about their cooperation and the internships and some other school work-related things. But she did talk about some school-related things that I wanted to bring to your attention. You can find her entire presentation on the Department of Education's website if you want to look into it. You want to sit through the PowerPoint. She said that literacy is going to be the focus of what she does in the coming years. She talked about that throughout, I think the last couple of years. She did not have a lot of specifics on that and how she was going to achieve the goal, but she wants to achieve a passage rate of 95% on iRead across the board by 2027, which is a pretty lofty goal. They talked about our robotics teams, which I thought was interesting, that Indiana makes up 15% of all robotics teams nationwide, which I did not know before that meeting. And like I said, it was a high-level overview. It's an interesting presentation to look at if you want to see how those diplomas are going to play out. Like I said, this was aimed mainly at businesses, but there is some information on there for those of us who are either on the school board or parents or students. Not a lot of information on how we're going to do a lot of these things, but I'm sure they're working on that as well. I also attended the Highland Griffith Chamber meeting on September 9th. The guest speakers were State Rep Andrade and State Senator Dan Durnall. Andrade spoke about the biannual budget and that 47% of the budget goes to K-12. Both of them talked about SB1. Andrade did address that as a bad bill, and he said he hopes for revisions. Again, no real timeline on whether or how that's going to happen. Neither one of them voted for SB1, which I'm sure they would like for me to point out. Durnell also said that he expects SB1 to be addressed in the next session, especially as it applies to schools. Again, I don't think they have the details on that just yet. They did talk about the increase in utilities across the board that affect our schools and our homes and everyone. Andrade is working with utilities and regulatory bodies to bring those costs down. Let's see, they talked about tolling, which is Bill 1416, and both talked about this and said they would vote against it. But Durnell talked specifically about how we need to find a new way to fund roads, so look for that coming your way, maybe through local government. And then they did address redistricting, which has become a hot topic of late. Both said they would vote no. Senator Durnall said that it would be a soft no from him right now. So if you have thoughts on that, Andrade was completely opposed to it. He said that the cost would be upwards of $250,000. We just had a redistricting. We do that in Indiana with the census, as you all probably know. So every 10 years. And like I said, if you have thoughts on redistricting and how you're being represented in that way, please reach out. And that goes for all things that you have thoughts about. Lastly, I attended the NICEC meeting last Wednesday also, September 9th. There was not a lot to report there. You guys will be happy to hear. But the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from that meeting is that NICEC has 44 para positions open at the beginning of the school year. That is, I mean, I think that we have 2 in, like, ish, you know, like 2 to 4, maybe a few more. We don't have 44 in Highland. I don't want you guys to think that.
No.
So if you know of anyone who's looking for a position, obviously NICEC was somewhat, some of those people went to work for Maryville. They are offering benefits to their paras, which is something NICEC took away in order to balance their budget, or to better balance their budget. To be creative with hours, things like that. We also had an increase, NICEC had an increase in autism spectrum students identified. We went from 331 to 552 across the NICEC district in a year. Wow. So that is a huge increase, and again, special needs students do receive an increase that is an increase in funds for different things, but it's not immediate. It's just something to think about. You know, that is something that parents are dealing with and teachers are dealing with, and obviously NICEC and Eagle Park and our schools here that have autism rooms deal with as well. On a much lighter note, they are having a number of fundraisers, which I will bring to you over the coming months, but one of the things they're doing is collecting Strax receipts. They will have a box in Strax to help out with some fun things to do at Eagle Park. If you don't see a box for NICEC at your local Strax, you can bring those receipts to me, and I will take them to Eagle Park for you. So that is all I have to report. I'm sorry for the half an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nothing to report, Mr. President.
And actually, I have nothing to report, so.
Took all the meeting.
Nothing to report, so we turn over to financials. Welcome back.
Thank you. Letter A is the treasurer report. A copy of that report was included in your board packet. I'm requesting approval of the report as presented.
Motion to approve, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Garcia. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Vouchers.
A copy of the final voucher docket was also included in your board packet. I recommend that it be approved as well.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the vouchers.
Thank you, Mrs. Scott. Do we have support?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Donations. A lot of them today.
I got a long list tonight. I'm requesting approval for the following donations. Merkley, we got 2 from the Merkley PTC, one for $2,125 in teacher reimbursements for classroom supplies, and another one for $4,540 payable to Legion Signs for window decals at Merkley. Southridge received a donation from the Faith Reformed Church in the amount of $1,781, and that is to purchase a bench and self-regulation bike. Warren received 2. We have a teacher wish list, that's through Amazon, for $62.94 in classroom supplies, and that is for Miss Anna Marie Pizer. Warren also received a Challenger Learning Center, a $560 grant, and that'll be for Colleen DeRolf's 5th grade field trip. The next batch is for the middle school. We have the Highland Middle School PTO, $2,149.99 for middle school track. Ions Express Incorporated, $321 for middle school cheer team t-shirts. Strachan Van Tills and Mission Tiger, a $2,400 credit received for PE class and middle school cheerleader mats. Applebee's donated $7,465.50 in gift cards for student attendance incentives. McDonald's donated $146.50 in gift cards for student attendance incentive, and Chick-fil-A's donated $770 in gift cards for student attendance incentives. The last batch is for the high school. We have Billy O's Dynamite Music, donated $368 worth of musical equipment to the Highland Musical Department. The town of Griffith donated $500 to the high school band, and Valparaiso University donated $500 for high school robotics club. I request your approval to accept those donations.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the donations as presented.
Support, Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. I have a feeling, Mrs. Gomez, you're going to have some discussion.
Thank you.
So any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, if I may.
Please.
And there's so many donations, I feel like lots of people are probably going to talk about it. Yeah, of course, we want to say thank you to all these, the companies, the PTCs, the PTOs, everyone who donated. This is an amazing amount of money. Special shout out to the PTCs, PTO. It's the beginning of the school year, so this is money that they raised likely over the last few years or very quickly at the beginning of the year to get some things knocked out and be able to reimburse teachers and do some other things with that. And that is, it's usually a hardcore group of parents. I know a lot of us got our start in the PTO, so we appreciate all the, and I've said it before, blood, sweat, and tears they put into acquiring those donations. And of course, we always say it takes a village, and this is an entire village worth of donations this month, so we appreciate all of them.
Thank you. Any further comments?
I'm just curious, do we know what musical equipment we got from Billy O's?
Look it up for you real quick. Two guitar cases, one Jasmine guitar, one harmony guitar, a guitar pickup, and 4 sets of guitar strings. Total value $368.
Nice.
Is that?
Thank you. I'm sure most people know who Billy O is, probably, but his shop's in Griffith and a member of Survivor, the band. But it's kind of cool having a local celebrity supporting our high school. I think that's awesome.
In the town of Griffith, because we marched, our band marched in their parade, so they donated $500 for our band.
Pretty cool. Any further discussion? I actually want to add to this. I just want to thank everybody for here, and you know what? Given the effects that we're going to have of Senate Bill 1, we're actually not going to buy any buses this year, so if anybody wants to donate a bus, I'd be more than happy to. So,
A newer bus, not like a 20-year-old bus.
Yes, unless we find some other methodology, but as of right now, no new buses. Breaking news. All right, so let's, we didn't vote yet. Let's vote to accept the donations. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Special Services, Building and Grounds Report.
A copy of that report was in your board packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, anybody? Comments? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
On to curriculum. Welcome, Dr. Irvin.
Thank you. I just have the 2025-27 Title III grants. School Town of Highland received $16,958 towards the Title III grant. These are federal dollars that provide funding to states to help districts improve their services for English language learners. We use the money to continue to be a member of the WVEC, which is Wabash Valley Education Center. They provide professional development, networking, different leadership conferences, things of that nature. I just ask that the board approve this grant as proposed.
Motion approved, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Cuba. Do we have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion?
Quick question. Many of these federal grants we are taking the lead with share with other schools in our community. Is this another one of those?
This, for the first year, Highland Christian did jump in on. Normally, Title III, they don't. So OLG, they participate in Title II, usually 1, 2, and 4. This year, Highland Christian jumped in on those. So yeah, we do their accounting for this also.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Professional leaves.
The leave requests are submitted for board review and recommended for your approval.
Thank you, Dr. Erlach. Do I have a motion to approve, Mr. President? Thank you, Mr. Cuba. Thank you very well. Support.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Personnel.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Thank you. Resignations, Irene Kanyar, retirement as a tech instructional aide at Warren, October 3rd, 2025. Vanessa Lopez, resignations as a Title I paraprofessional, Johnson, August 25th, 2025. I so recommend.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Do I have a motion to accept?
I motion to accept.
Mr. Allier, do we have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion?
Yeah, if I may, Mr. President. I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Conyer for 24 years of service to the school town of Highland. I had the pleasure of working with her. We were TRAs together when iPads first rolled out, and she does some amazing stuff over at Warren that I know she brought that knowledge to all the TRAs and throughout the district, and I hope she has a lovely retirement.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I too wish her a long, happy, healthy retirement. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Appointment.
Yeah, Michelle Alvarez, appointment as a Title I paraprofessional, Johnson, for the 2025-26 school year. Sherry Terrell Mishler, appointment as a JV basketball coach at the high school for the 2025-26 school year. Barbara Beanblossom, appointment as the National Junior Honor Society sponsor at the middle school for the 2025-26 school year. Rachel Horniak, appointment as the math bowl coach at Warren for the 2025-26 school year. Thomas Groen, appointment as the girls wrestling assistant coach at the high school for the 2025-26 school year. Sam Michael, appointment as the varsity baseball coach at the high school for the 2025-26 school year. Tammy Field, appointment as a sub-custodian for the school corporation, August 18, 2025. Ron Ortega, appointment as a Title I paraprofessional at Johnson, August 28, 2025. Liz Martinez, appointment as a Title I paraprofessional at Southbridge, August 29, 2025. And Alan Montano, a transfer from a sub-custodian to a full-time custodian at Warren Elementary, August 25, 2025. I so recommend.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointment.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Do we have support?
Support the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Allier. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
We will now open the floor to public comment. You have 3 minutes. Please step up to the podium. We don't talk on HR items. We don't talk on active research events that we're doing or any sort of police investigation. Sir, please.
Straightforward, 9221 Parkway Drive. There's no particular reason I'm going to raise this issue. And it's not a big issue. It's an issue that is of interest to folks that are involved with home school situations with their students. The Indiana legislature, as I recall this issue, addressed it in some manner last year. They didn't authorize school boards to do something they couldn't already do, but they indicated that a minimum requirement, among other requirements, would be that they would require one course to be taken either internet-wise or in person at their school corporation. Now I'm going to turn to 2 examples because it makes everything easier to explain. The 2 school corporations that participate in this program, Cloverdale High School. You may not know where Cloverdale is, but I remember this many years ago. We walked down that pathway. But it's a high school enrollment of 283, and the K-12 enrollment is 1,500. So a small school corporation. Martinsville is much larger, a little bit bigger than we are. High school enrollment 1,550. The K-12 enrollment is 4,053. Here's their situation. In Cloverdale's situation, the athletic director, they passed this board policy a year ago, this would have been year 2024. And the athletic director said he's having a lot of trouble getting participation because he doesn't have enough numbers out there. So he approached the board, and the board approved it. And the requirement is the minimum. Among other requirements, the minimum requirement is to take one course, either internet or in person. Now that's what's going on with Cloverdale. With regard to Martinsville, I talked to the athletic director today for 20 minutes. Very helpful guy. He's a former basketball coach at Martinsville, which takes their basketball very seriously. And their situation is, during the sports season, let's take an example. And by the way, I want to talk about numbers here. The numbers with regard to Martinsville, he estimated in the past 10 years, because they started it 10 years ago. They did not rely upon any state law. This is a policy they adopted on their own because they felt there was a need for it. We're only talking 20, under 20 students. He never specified 18, 17, 16, but certainly under 20. So it's a very small number of students. And during the sports season, they're on trimesters. Now, you know what trimesters are? There's 13 weeks, and 13 weeks. So in a trimester situation, during that sports season, the student athlete must be enrolled in 5 courses. That's a full-time student. 5 courses, and if it's available on the internet, I suppose they can take it on the internet, but I think the idea is to get the student into the classroom at Martinsville High School. And if the sports season now has ended, it goes back to the other requirement when the trimester has ended. They go back to taking their 1 course, or it might be 2, with regard to the internet. So just for information purposes, and there's no particular reason I have raised this issue. This is an issue which has become of some interest to me, and others take an interest in as well. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any further comments? Nobody? All right, we'll close public comment. On to the board comment. Mr. Elliott.
Well, I would just like to thank all of our donors. We had quite a list this month. And just congratulate the students on a safe and successful homecoming this past week.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Ms. Garcia.
So I'd like to congratulate Ms. Connier on her retirement. Had an impact on a lot of our kids over at Warren. I also just want to thank Mr. Reiser for helping out with making sure our kids that are interested in the fine arts have an opportunity to follow that pathway. I think that's amazing. I do want to mention something that happened yesterday that I think is just a great example of how our coaches can really care about our kids. So last night's boys varsity soccer match was senior night, and we have a young man who is unable to compete and has continued to be a part of the team as a manager. And to surprise his parents on senior night, they put Sutton Wilhoit on the field as a starter, cleared it with the opposing team because he's not supposed to be playing. And so he got announced as a starter on varsity, kicked the ball out of bounds so he could get subbed out. Nobody moved anywhere near him. But what that meant to that family and to his teammates, that the coaches know how important it is that on senior night this individual got to really be a part of the team. It's just a testament for what I believe is such a strong culture here in the school town of Highland, that we care about each other as family. So just want to give a special shout out to Coach Zarevany for really making that happen and making a special night for that family.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia. Skillman.
I think you guys have heard me talk enough tonight, so just going to say thank you to everyone for coming. Again, thank you for the donations. I'm excited about the fall play. There were 2 cats. With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Kuba.
All right, Mr. Kuba.
Ditto everything everyone said. Thank you on the donations. I mean, it was over $20-some thousand combined, so thank you for everybody. Thanks for everyone getting us off to a nice school year, and look forward to continued success in academics and athletics. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. I would just like to offer my condolences to the Vukovic family and the family of Lori Faust. May they rest in peace. And also, I would like to thank all of those that were involved with Homecoming Week festivities. So for the first time in quite some time, we had a live parade. So kudos to the organizers of that. I think that started with the student council. So great job there. Nice win. It's fun to get a win on a Friday night on homecoming, and by all accounts, the dance is great. So the only, bad choice, somebody decided to TP my house.
No.
I have gold glitter all over my driveway.
Why are you looking at me?
I had, and it was not my house, I had a half of a Taco Bell burrito on my kid's car, and hot sauce all over my yard, so, yeah.
With that, we will, let's see, future meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is October 21st, 2025 in the very chambers. And with that, a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Christie.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Kuva. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I adjourn.
You guys need